Kyle, Andor Season 2 is out very soon. I think tomorrow for the US and Wednesday for us. But that's all right. We're used to getting things a bit later. But I think what we expected has happened.
I disagree. I think we were used to getting these movies and stuff early, but this is a TV show, so it's
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
guess it's different. But yeah,
So just let me complain, all right? But yeah, I think what's happened is what we expected to happen has happened. Reviews are coming out now for Andor season 2, and they are glowing, calling it best Star Wars ever. You know, calling it amazing, all that stuff. It's got a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. I think with nearly 50 reviews, which is about average for TV, which is like the most some TV shows get. Look, I'm pretty sure we were both already excited for this, but how are you feeling now that it's what it's this week? I've kind of forgot about it because we've had Daredevil leading up to it. We've had what else? We've had Last of Us, but Andor's out this week, and Andor's fucking amazing. So yeah, how are you feeling right now?
uh, obviously with the very high score that it currently has, it's sitting at 48 reviews. This is live here. Um, this is exciting. So when Andor was initially announced, I was like, it seems like Disney are announcing a lot of stuff here, and I
Yeah,
was like, why Andor? And we had the Disney Plus shows, and some were okay. Mandalorian obviously is the exception. Ahsoka, certain episodes, but it was still suffering from that Disney Plus format, and we kind of, well, at least I say it all the time, Disney Plus, and it's especially its first round of shows heavily suffered from that. One of the big issues was they didn't really have showrunners. They were just sort of movies cut into pieces and then
mm-hmm.
expanded on, but not in a good way, in like a waste my fucking time way. So when this was announced and it released, I was like, okay, it's getting good reviews, but a lot of the Disney Plus shows are getting good reviews. Andor is not like any other show, except maybe like Daredevil now on Disney Plus. Andor is a proper TV show through and
I
through.
look, as much as I love Daredevil Born Again, and I think Born Again is the best Disney Plus show they've done, I would still say Andor is the closest thing they've got to HBO quality. Netflix goes, Born Again goes in a different way, and it feels more Netflix good show quality, but Andor feels HBO quality.
Yes, I completely agree. That's sort of what I was going to lead into. Is it doesn't feel like anything else on that market, on the Disney Plus market.
No,
Even still to this day, like you say, it does feel that high quality bar.
which
It's
is
there.
what I
You
think we
can
was
tell.
expecting for everything from Disney Plus,
Yeah,
and they've just kind of let
yeah,
us down.
yeah. Andor season one has a very slow start. It's a very. It's like, I'd say it's like more of like the early seasons of Daredevil, like maybe the first season of Daredevil, but it's got that quality of HBO that just keeps it going, keeps pushing you more. Um,
Filmed on
because
location.
yeah, I remember because they wanted to use that screen thing, which it were
We're
fine
cool
for
at
certain
first. It was
aspects,
cool at first, but then they
but
just
they
overdid
used
it.
it for everything. Yeah, yeah, and another thing, I need to get this out there. They didn't do the annoying thing with the show and it be who's the mystery villain? Who's gonna pop up at the end? Keep teasing it like they did with literally even Marvel and Star Wars projects on Disney
Yeah,
Plus. It was really annoying. But this was sort of like this was made with pure love and it had an idea. I just think in a way I'm feeling like this is lucky that it was made because I don't see Disney sort of approving it in a sense. It's nothing that will blow out records in the
yeah.
sense of watch time and people going on to watch it because it didn't. It's probably like the least watched Star Wars show. I know friends of mine who love Star Wars, big Star Wars fan, and they haven't watched it. Just because they said, yeah, okay, it's another Star Wars show about Andor. I don't really know the character. This show, yeah, it doesn't fully make you fall in love with just Andor, but it's all the characters around, the universe
Oh,
itself.
Luthen
Seeing this, yeah,
by Stellan Skarsgård.
yeah. So yeah, it's season 2. I'm really happy that it's getting this high score. I can imagine it does deserve it. I'm very, very excited, Callum. I think I'm so happy that I've got Wednesday off because I can just
Yeah.
get straight on and watch
you
it.
could just 2 episodes as well.
Ooh,
2 episode premiere.
I'm
Look,
very excited.
Tony Gilroy, who obviously came in and did the reshoots for Rogue One, and then did obviously Andor season 1, and was doing Andor season 2. He said that Andor season 2 might be the best thing he's ever done. And look, judging from these reviews, he might be right. So look,
Did you say season 1 or season 2?
I said judging from these reviews.
Oh, okay. Another thing I just want to add here as well, Colin. I remember when because it came out and it sort of flew under our radar a little bit. We normally watch like the premiere of this stuff together, just so we can get like a general reaction and have a nice chat after it, and order some good food. I didn't watch all of this until like quite a while after. I remember it was on my list.
I know why. There was a lot of TV going on at that time when Andor season 1 came out. There was
It was, but it wasn't
House of the Dragon
just
season
that. Yeah.
no, not The Boys. It was House of the Dragon season 1. Gen V, I believe. No, not Gen V, because we weren't doing the channel. It was House of the Dragon season 1, She-Hulk, the Lord of the Rings show, I believe, as well, and this all coming out at the same time, releasing on like similar days.
Yeah, but I think it's just the case of like, yeah, I was hearing great things, but it's like I heard great things about this, that, and the other, and it wasn't that great. So, but I remember I said to you, "Have you watched Andor? Have you finished it?" And you were like, "Yeah, I finished it ages ago." And I'm like, why didn't you tell me how fucking good it was? Because it was so fucking...
I was so good.
You didn't say anything to me about it. I'm like, I will question in my head. I was like, have you actually seen it?
Because I knew you was a bit burnt out with Disney Plus stuff, so I knew there was kind of no point in telling you to watch it.
Yeah, I'm glad I came round on it, and I'm glad I stuck through it, even though it is quite slow. I've seen the first season twice now, and I'm glued to my screen. Like I nearly stayed up all night watching the entire first season.
I've seen it through once, but there is an episode. There's a scene that I'll watch over and over again, and that's the One Way Out scene, and it gets me every time. Right at the end, with Andy Serkis's character, he's like, "I can't swim," and I'm just there, and it's like, "Oh my fucking god." He can't swim.
Yeah, the origins of Snoke, that.
Could be.
He drowns, but the dark side. His hate for stormtroopers and the dark side.
That's it. But yeah, guys, we'll be letting you know what we think of Andor Season 2 on Wednesday after we've both seen it. So, yeah. I'm just excited, and I'm glad to see that a Star Wars project is getting love like this, even though it's probably the furthest thing from Star Wars, but so close to Star Wars as well at the same time. And Alan Tudyk coming back as K2SO. That's what I can't wait for.
Obviously, you've got director Krennic in there as well.
Yes.
One thing I'll just say as well is, I'm losing my train of thought. It's, you know how the best way I can sort of, if a lot of people have seen Game of Thrones, you look at Game of Thrones, it's about dragons, castles, kings and stuff, but it kind of focuses on the politics and the drama and the, what did you say?
Tits.
That as well. Andor kind of does that for the Star Wars universe. Like, it doesn't really focus on the, flashy, bigger than life aspects of it. It's like no, this is down to earth. This is what's really going on in a day-to-day life in this universe. This is why the Empire fucking sucks, and it shows them in like the worst light possible, but in the truest form. That's how I can sort of compare it in my mind. Like, I'm not saying it's as good as Game of Thrones, but it
Yeah.
kind of is. It's as good as, at least.
Right. Before we get going, then I've got a couple of questions to ask you.
Go on.
Just answer with yes or no.
Yeah.
But if you want to elaborate more, you can. I'm not going to fucking stop you. Right. Do you think we see Mads Mikkelsen's Galen Erso in this?
No.
No.
Just for the fact of that was his character was a very central focus for
Yeah.
Rogue One, and it makes sense for that.
Well, so next one I'm going to ask you: do we see Felicity Jones as Jyn Erso? I know it kind of don't make sense in terms of where the story takes place, but there could be a mention or something along them lines.
Maybe a mention at the end where they're like, "Oh, can you go find this Jyn Erso?
Yeah.
Take K2SO with you, whatnot." But a lot of the characters in Rogue One, I'm gonna say no.
That was the only other Rogue One character I was going to ask about. Right. Next, final one. Any chance we see Vader?
No.
No.
This is the one character I think would be like a nice cherry on top.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would entirely make sense, but it's a show about the politics. He's already been mentioned in season 1. We fucking love this guy. Everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
The Emperor.
You want the Emperor in there?
I want the Emperor in this. If Disney seems to be confident with this, being able to show Krennic, Director Krennic back. If they're able to do that, then there's got to be something there. There's got to be a surprise. I get it's not that type of thing, but having the Emperor just show up even for one scene.
Look, I completely agree. The Emperor would be great. My only thing thinking that we could get Vader in there is, look, you can stick anyone in the costume, and Disney have bought the rights to James Earl Jones's voice of Vader. So they just what did they do? They like recreated it with AI in Obi-Wan.
I think so.
So that's my only thing. That's like they've got Vader whenever they want Vader now.
Yeah, they do. I just think with a show like this, it's
not necessary.
Not necessary. No, I feel like Vader should be used in something else. Whereas like the Emperor very much fits this style and this side of this universe, because the prequels, as much as love it or hate it, they're very heavy politics, and this has that element to it, but done well. And with the whole rebel stuff, it makes sense the Emperor popping up.
My other thing is, I think we will. I think if we see the Emperor, I think we're going to see Vader, because Director Krennic's line to the Emperor is through Vader. You see that in Rogue One, and he's like, "Will you tell the Emperor?" And he's like, "Fucking." He turns around, starts choking him, and he's like, "Careful not to choke on your aspirations, Director Krennic," which was not a Vader line at all. But oh well, they kind of made up for it in the end of the film by giving us the best Vader scene we've ever seen.
I don't give a fuck. I love that line. That was fucking.
I like it as well.
It's Vader. Anything he could say he could say what Venom says, "Turd in the wind," and it'd be more terrifying than Venom.
I think we'll see Vader, because if we see the Emperor, Vader is Krennic's line through to the Emperor. Seems like Krennic don't have direct communication with him.
No, I know, and I'm not saying Krennic will have that. Maybe it's more of like there'll be a lot of high tier officers. It won't be like a one-on-one with Krennic, with the Emperor and Krennic. It'll be more of like the Emperor coming in and being like, "Fucking sort this out. This is beyond unacceptable. This needs to be fixed," basically.
Kyle, can I just say I've just noticed something beautiful?
Go on.
We're enjoying talking about Star Wars.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if the Emperor doesn't show up, that's fine. I'm still excited
Yeah.
to see Andor kick ass and do some cool stuff.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see these other characters.
And what's it going to be set up this season? Every 3-episode arc is going to be a year in Andor's life. So the first season was an entire year, and then we get 12 episodes now, and every 3 episodes is a year leading up to Rogue One. So, yeah, interesting. I just can't wait to do the Andor 2 seasons, watch Rogue One, and then Empire Strike, and then fucking Star Wars, fucking watch party, straight through to each other.
Yeah, I feel like Disney's given us a good a prequel here, like an actual, like, you know, I'm not trying to, I need to be careful with the words, but
by the time we're 60, Kyle, the entire gap between Revenge of the Sith and Star Wars would have been filled in, and we'll have to do everything in between it, because they've got the Bad Batch, they've got the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor game. They're filling in that gap.
I mean,
it's an interesting period as well.
With how Marvel bring out their stuff a little bit more quicker than Star Wars, I think it'll be like neck and neck with who's got the longest timeline to watch movies. Obviously, Vader. Who's got the?
He got burnt off, mate. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, you're right. It's Palpatine, Papa Palpatine,
with his lightning winky.
Yeah, but who's gonna? You know, in that year's time, who's gonna have the biggest timeline watch?
Well, you'll have to come to my grave and tell me, because I'll be dead from stage 17 diabetes.
Well, that's delightful.
Yep.
Yeah. Happy birthday, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah, I've had a good birthday. I just haven't done it all, and it's made me so happy to just kick back, relax.
The most you've done is put on that t-shirt.
Struggled. Right, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know what you think about Andor Season 1. Let us know what you think about Rogue One. Very interested. Let us know who's got the better facial hair out of me and Kyle. We both struggle to grow a full beard, but we're both doing our best. If you say me, I'll PayPal you a tenner. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and we will...
What is with you and giving out tenors for making people do shit for you?
That sounds weird. All right? Listen, I pay a lot more than that.
Right, guys. See you in a bit.
Cut the feed.
Bah!